Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Big Mic Drop. Tonight, I want to start from a different place. I want to start from a different place tonight, okay? Um, Not from politics, not from party affiliation, not from ideology. I want to start from a place of humanity. Over the last few days, I found myself thinking and posting about two names constantly. And that's Cyrus Carmack Belton and Carmelo Anthony. Two young black men, two tragedies, two families forever changed. In two cases that have sparked some really passionate reactions across America because they force us to ask one of the hardest questions that a nation can ask. What does justice actually look like? In South Carolina, a jury acquitted Rick Chow in the shooting death of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. The case centered on competing claims about whether Cyrus posed a threat during the confrontation over water that ended with him being in Texas. Carmelo Anthony, convicted of murder, sentenced to 35 years in prison for the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf. A confrontation at a high school track meet. Anthony's attorney argued very weakly, self-defense, and the jury rejected the argument. Now, here's where we have to be careful. We live in a time where many people don't want justice. They want outcomes. They want a verdict that matches their politics. They want a result that makes their side feel good. But justice isn't supposed to work that way. Justice is not supposed to be black justice or white justice, conservative justice or liberal justice. Justice is just supposed to be justice. And yet, if we're honest, many Americans no longer trust that the system delivers justice, not on a consistent basis. Some people looked at the Cyrus Carmack Belton verdict and saw a system that once again failed to value the life of a black child. This was a child. Others looked at the Carmelo Anthony verdict and saw a system finally holding someone accountable for taking a life, and others saw it the exact opposite. And this is in both cases. And that's where we are as a country. Not just divided by politics, but divided by reality itself. Tonight, I'm not here to tell you what you're supposed to think. I'm here to ask deeper questions. What happens to a society when half of the country believes justice was served and the other half believes justice was denied? What happens when every verdict becomes a referendum on race, ideology, or identity? What happens when Americans lose faith not only in each other, but in an institution that's supposed to settle these disputes peacefully? That's the danger. The courtroom is supposed to be where evidence speaks louder than outrage. But increasingly, the court of public opinion reaches a verdict long before the jury ever does. And that's what happens. And nobody's satisfied. Nobody heals. Nobody trusts. Tonight, I want us to wrestle with the difficult truth. Just society isn't just measured by whether the verdict goes our way. It's measured by whether the principles remain the same across the board. And obviously they don't. If we want justice for people who look like us, we have to be willing to defend justice even when it's uncomfortable. If we want fairness for our communities, we have to demand fairness for everyone. Because if justice changes, depending on who's standing before the judge, then it isn't justice at all. It's power. And power has never been the same thing as justice. So tonight we're going to have a serious conversation. And we're going to talk about the Asian boycott as well. The boycott of Asian businesses, I should say. We're going to talk about accountability. And we're going to talk about whether America is still capable of living up to the promises of its own ideals. Let's get into it. I'm your host, Big Mike. And you're on the mic drop. We're going to get started. The mic drop.
That man is a product of a poor environment. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. I can prove it.
Of course there's something wrong with him. He's a Negro.
Somebody drop this fool for me.
The mic drop.
While freedom of speech is one of the most sacrosanct freedoms in American history, there are a variety of exceptions to the general principle that speech is protected under the First Amendment. We will discuss 6 such categories: incitement, fighting words, obscenity, defamation, commercial speech, and cases in which freedom of speech is outweighed by an even more compelling interest. We'll start with
the mic drop.
Black community says let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip-hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
This is gonna be an unpopular fucking opinion, and I'm gonna call you out since you motherfuckers don't seem to fucking understand. Every single one of you over there boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate, you fucking black fucking people with your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call niggerism. Yeah, not my words, those are your people's words. You people that is living in that black culture mentality, the poor victim mentality, thinking that people still owe you fucking reparations. Yeah, you motherfuckers. I'm the one talking to you motherfuckers. Every single one of you failing in life, and then you want to blame everybody else. You see this whole Cyrus case and Mr. Chow? None of this would have happened if you motherfuckers raise your fucking kids right. That fucking little boy witnessed some of his business trying to steal fucking water, okay? Now, I might not agree with Mr. Chow chasing the fucking boy and shooting him fucking in Timbuktu, okay, wherever the fuck he was, but here's the crazy part. If you had disciplined your fucking boy right, he wouldn't be in someone's store trying to steal fucking a 50-cent bottle of fucking water in the first place, okay? Not only that, you go and attack the fucking attorney,
Somebody
defending
drop
his
this fool
clients,
for me.
and then here's the truth of the matter. Your people
this a million times, and I'll say it as many times as I need to so you can get it through your thick skulls. The only reason why Asians exist in America in such a large population is because black activists fought for our right to be here during the civil rights movement. White people did not want us here. It's not enough for Asian people to just be not racist. You have to be anti-racist, and you have to be speaking out against these injustices, or else they'll continue to happen. We absolutely owe the black community solidarity, and the sooner that we realize that we're not much different from each other is the sooner that
The mic drop. Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Big Mike. I'm back in the building, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Mic Drop. Check it out, man. Look, tonight I'm gonna have a serious discussion. I've been waiting, and I put it off for a couple of days because I just like to see what's gonna happen towards the end of the week. And I've been waiting to have this discussion because I want the evidence to pile up, for lack of a better term. So if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, definitely catch it on the playback, because I did have something to say in the beginning, and I'm going to let you know right now, that's about as much humanity as I'm going to have this show. I put the disclaimer out there now, because what's going on in America today, I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. It's time to debunk this uneducated approach to life and history that we have. We're going to have to debunk that. And I'm going to get back in my bag, and we're going to start educating and learning on this show. So buckle in. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to discuss the Carmelo Anthony case briefly here in a moment. I think that's all I'm going to say about it once I finish saying what I'm saying. I've been active on social media. I've been talking a lot of shit to a lot of people, man. And it's felt good. It felt good, snapping on folks, joning folks or whatever you call it, janking or whatever, trolling. But at the end of the day, trolling isn't really moving the needle. Commenting back and forth with people is not really moving the needle. All we're doing is having circular arguments with these people. And it's whites, it's Asians, it's everybody. It seems like every group is for themselves, and we're no different. We're no different. We don't have any friends here in America right now, Black America. That's not Democrats. That's not Republicans. That's not white people. That's not Asian people. That's not brown people. That's not Indian people. We have no friends. We may have a straggler, a person that's of a pure heart that comes along every now and then. And we'll talk about some of those people tonight. And I've tried to show balance in that. And I will try to show balance in that tonight, okay? But it's distressing times again. Seems like it's going to be a crazy-ass summer. I hope not, but it's just shaping up to be that way. So sit back. We're going to be here for a while. I got a lot of videos, a lot of education, and we're going to get into let's get into the father, the Metcalf father. He broke his silence finally. Mr. Metcalf, I don't know his name, Joe Metcalf or whatever his name is. He finally broke his silence after the gag order was lifted and after Carmelo Anthony was successfully, for now, railroaded into the Texas state prison system. Okay? People are saying that that normally doesn't happen. That people aren't normally transferred that fast into the state prison system. It takes them about 60 days to process them into the system. They got this kid out overnight. They rushed through the whole trial. And I think in the rush, that's where the injustice happened. It was rushed, it was secret, no cameras, even though half of these kids are probably grown by now, still didn't have any cameras. So I think the secrecy of the whole situation is what has people perturbed and bothered. Nobody's necessarily celebrating that a young man was stabbed and subsequently passed away from his wounds. But if you see his dad, you make your own decision on this. What really happened under that tent? Because I'm going to tell you now, those kids that got up on the stand were lying. They were all lying. I know that for a fact. Too many inconsistencies in the story. And they were all on code, and they all got Carmelo up out of there. Now, we're going to talk about being on code because on the Anthony side, from the Anthony camp, I'm getting suspicious of some behaviors and some moves that were made and the motives for those moves. And I'm trying to be nice in saying this, but it seemed like there may be some off-code behavior going on over there as well, and we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is about truth. This platform is about truth. This platform is about proof. Everything you say, you should be able to back it up with facts, and not facts that you feel. I'll tell you straight now, F your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. You don't care about mine, I don't care about yours. I do care about the facts, though. So if you come up here and you have a different opinion than me, that's fine. But just know you better have the facts, especially tonight, because I came armed with facts. So we're going to get into Mr. Metcalf. You all kind of know the story. We know what's going on. I will show you this, though. This was interesting to me. I will show you this, and I'm going to go and put this guy out on Front Street. I'm going to go and put him out on Front Street. Let's see, where are we at? Let's go to media assets there. I want y'all to look at this. So this is really what set me off, because earlier last week, while they were still in court before the verdict came down, or, they were still testifying. They were still calling witnesses. I was bothered when I saw this post on Facebook. It's from a Mr. William Davis. And you better hope it's not considered self-defense. ... 13% of the population will be fucked. So I got up under there because everybody can see what he's saying. Everybody knows what's being said here. So these are the type of terroristic threats that we have to deal with. And then you wonder why we have an issue with the outcome. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were going to do. But this is a direct threat to us. You better hope it's not considered self-defense. So if he would have got off on self-defense, what y'all going to do? Y'all going to come take everybody out? If you could take us out, you would have been took us out. If it could just happen when you wanted it to. A lot of you have wanted it to happen for a long time. So that kind of set me in motion a little bit. And I know that's why he did it. You look at his videos. I mean, you know why he did it. He's trolling. He's a big hairy troll. But we're not going to be terrorized on our own land by foreigners. And yes, I am going to say foreigners. Mostly all of you are foreigners. Not me, though. Not us. You. You ask them where they from, they tell you 5 or 6 different countries. And that's what their allegiance is to. these people are in such a hurry, in a rush. They're so bloodthirsty that they really just want the word. They're waiting on the word to where they can come purge us. Fellow Americans, but nobody's in Iran now. Nobody's jumping up to go get these oil prices down, get the grocery prices down, open the Strait of Hormuz. Y'all sitting up here worried about what y'all gonna do to us. Something deeper there. Something way deeper there. We're gonna get into it though. All right. So I'm gonna, without further ado, non-gag ordered Mr. Metcalf dad, whatever his name is. I don't know his name. I think it's Joe Metcalf, something like that. But I want y'all to check out his response to Carmelo's parents, Charleston White, and I think Black America in general. I really think this guy is kind of responsible for what happened to his son. I'm going to say that. But check it out. Uh-oh. Let me cancel audio. Yep.
This is a warning. Karma's a bitch. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I don't have to come after you. It's going to take care of itself. People are going to see you for who you really are now. And if we want to talk individuals, we can, because I couldn't speak about this in court. But I can speak freely now because the gag order is lifted. Tiffany Billions, Wackadoo, McAdoo, whatever her last name is, I'm not going to throw insults at you because I'm not going to lower myself to your level. But you're despicable. Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or Go money. You are grifters. You should be ashamed of yourself. You raised that child. And I swear to God, CPS should come check on those other 3 that you still have. You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim. The real victim is the one who died, not the one who shoved a knife in his chest. I come to pray with you and show the world we can close the gap of this unbelievable racial divide. And what'd you do? You widen the gap even further. You hire a convicted, baby-shaking felon who's only in it for the money, who gives you bad advice, kicks me out of a press conference. Oh, funny, I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, but I left when asked. I didn't stab anyone. And then you proceeded to gaslight me with your convicted felon, quote, advocate, minister? Minister of what? Minister irrelevant? Minister of bullshit? How about minister fuck you? Y'all think I'm a saint? I'm no saint. I'm as human as you. I have emotions. Just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean I don't sin, because I don't walk on water and I don't turn into wine. And anybody else can, step up. Don't become kicking rocks in my backyard. Look in your own. The display of adults on the internet. If your children saw how you acted, would you be proud? Or is that what you teach them? Do you teach them that racism is okay? Do you teach them? Do you program your kids to hate, to kill? From day one, I said this was never about race. Please don't make it about race and don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both.
So politicizing it is going to the district attorney and figuring out ways to trump up a murder conviction as opposed to manslaughter. Nobody's saying what Carmelo did was right. It could be argued that he did what was right for him in the moment to get out of trouble, to stop from getting his ass whipped, like this animal son told him that he was going to do. I'm sure he would have fought at that press conference if somebody would have told him they were going to kick his ass if he didn't get out of there. I'm quite sure he would. Very fiery individual. And there's some serious allegations out here on this guy and the dynamics of that family, too. So, XL Pro, what's happening with you, fam? Uh-oh. The mic drop.
That means either he was in
Hold on, man. I haven't gotten my sounds together. I redid my sounds. So let's see.
Somebody dropped it.
I think you're way out of line.
Now come on in the house. Go get that shawl.
I ain't got no applause button no more. It's okay. Shout out to you.
You some freaky ass nigga.
No, not that. But anyway, back to Mr. Metcalf. I feel like he's a very hateful man. And not saying that he shouldn't be. But I'm not saying that he should be either. Because if you're a Christian, then you know that one of the commandments is to not bear false witness against your neighbor. And I think that when this appeal, if this appeal goes through, I figure they're going to try to stop that too. But if this appeal goes through and they really start digging into the technicalities and the mechanics of how that case was handled, I think that there's going to be a different outcome. And then Mr. Davis might come kill all of us and shit, you know? These are just my thoughts on this. Let's finish up. It gets worse.
The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. You have embarrassed your own culture and race. Don't get me wrong. We got white people that embarrass the shit out of me too. But you guys, you got a patent on that shit. And the only people that's going to change it are you.
Okay, and I'm going to say this more than one time tonight. Everybody loves to point to black culture. Oh, black culture, black culture. First of all, our culture is what drives America. We're the culture of the world. We determine what's cool globally. Everybody's living black culture. The fact he's on the internet going live talking shit. But we don't have millions of bodies, blood on our hands. We've never had a genocide. There's no crime rings of hundreds of people getting arrested. We don't have jack shacks all over the place, up and down the highway, massage parlors. We don't have any of that. But everybody loves to talk about our culture. These people are sick. Very, very sick individual, very sick man.
Don't blame the white person because we can't change it.
Not about race. Don't make it about race. He just wants to control the narrative and wanted to control the narrative to still railroad their son because he's a racist.
But you're going to blame the white person for every fucking thing else. We're the bad ones. We're the one that held you down. Guess what? You can do everything in America that I can do. Tell me one thing you can't do that I can't do.
Defend yourself.
We all have equal rights. What's it say? All men are created equal. The First Amendment protects free speech. I'm for it. Free speech doesn't guarantee you safety. Perfect example, Charlie Kirk, a man who I admired.
Perfect example, your son saying he was going to whip somebody's ass. That's a perfect example. Yeah, he was free to say it, but did it de-escalate the situation? No. So some conflict resolution issues in the Metcalf household, to say the least.
Looked up to. You know why? Because he could fight with words and logic. He didn't need fists, guns, or knives. No. He sat down and talked with you. How do you solve any situation when there's a problem? Communication. Charlie was an expert. That's one person I admit I would not want to debate. He was a walking chat GPT. But he held strong.
I'm going to tell you this. Recognize when you're dealing with somebody that's uneducated. Because if anybody says that Charlie Kirk was a walking chat GPT, they're insane. Charlie Kirk was a walking liar. He spread lies and propaganda while ignoring the degeneracy in his own community, while ignoring the degeneracy in Turning Points USA.
On his faith, he never wavered. His convictions were solid. He was a good man.
I'm sure he's looking up at us.
Taken too soon also. Some people called him racist. Some people call me racist. Does it make me racist?
Yes.
No. My grandfather once told me, what other people think of you, son, is none of your business. I didn't quite understand it then, but I understand it now. The only person that judges me is God. And God sees all. I give what you get. Or what you give, or to me, I'll give it back. So, am I racist? Yeah, I'm racist against assholes. I don't like them. I could care less about the color of your skin. We all bleed the same color. The mental capacity of others sometimes astonishes me. At someone at a certain age, let's just say 40, 50, I would assume, and this is my fault for making assumptions, that you would have common sense, that you be intelligent. You could make a difference between right and wrong. Nah. Ain't got nothing to do with age, ain't got nothing to do with color. It's up to you.
I'm yet to hear this man admit that maybe there's a slight possibility that his son made the wrong decision too. Isn't that strange? He's on a hell of a soapbox talking about right and wrong. And I'm going to tell you something else too. I've never met a twin that watched their twin fight, much less fight and get stabbed and pass away. I've never met a twin that would let that happen in front of them. I've never met parents that would accept that one twin didn't come home while the other twin was standing right there. It's a lot of inconsistency in this case. It's going to be a new case now, hopefully. But that baffles me. And I'm sure that young man feels horrible that he just stood by and watched his brother do that. Or he didn't stop his brother from doing that. Let's keep going.
Who you want to be? You chart your course. Guess what? It's not going to go the way you think. Promise. If there's a person who exists on this entire planet who's never had a problem, one, in their life, please step up. I want to meet you because I want to know how you did that. It's not possible. Life is not easy. God doesn't say that. God says there's going to be trials and tribulations. God says there's going to be people out there who will deceive you. People out there, I mean, if we want to go back Old Testament, eye for an eye, Sodom and Gomorrah, turn to stone, man lays with a man, you die. I mean, this is all your personal choices. It's none of my business. I stay in my lane. Just don't come in my lane with your bullshit. I respect everyone until they disrespect me. I've been disrespected by so many people, so many times while I've had to sit here and take it. Drew Anthony, you're a pussy and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk bitch. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you?
No accountability as a parent. Zero accountability as a parent. Now, the way that this stuff is rolling off his tongue, you know that he speaks like this quite frequently, right? Because a real Christian is going to try to approach this from a Christian perspective first. He sounds like he's drunk, personally, in my opinion. He sounds like he's drunk. But let him finish ranting. Get it off your chest.
You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Let me make one up. Y'all can let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's going to have many nights to think about what the fuck he did. I forgave him, so I don't carry the hate and the anger.
Good job.
So I don't get ate up like cancer and kills you from the inside.
It's happening.
It's like me drinking poison and hoping it kills you. It doesn't work that way.
You're being poisoned. Publicly poisoned.
You gotta let that stuff go or it will kill you. It will eat you up inside. So when people ask me, how can you forgive him? If I didn't, I would have wound up killing him and going to prison myself. That's how stupid people, when you get irrational, because you can't make a good decision if you're emotional. Emotion and intellect do not mix.
Man, this would have been great for Austin to know before he told somebody he was going to whip their ass if they didn't move out of seat. All of this philosophy would have been awesome to teach the kids. Y'all need to read up on this guy here. This guy got all type of shit going on. Y'all need to read up on Mr. Metcalf. He got a lot of things going on. There's some allegations out there on him that I'm not going to personally get into right now. But notice his wife isn't sitting there with him. And that's all I'll say. The child been gone for years. A year, over a year. I'm not telling anybody how long to grieve, but notice his wife is not there with him, supporting him through this moment. Check out the signs.
If you're emotional, you can't come up with a logical solution. Doesn't work.
He's just learning this himself, by the way. He didn't teach this to his kids.
You have to be level-headed. You have to be clear of mind.
Level-headed. At a track meet, not concerned about the events you're going to compete in. You worried about whipping somebody's ass under the tent. You're not looking to get on the field and whoop them on the track. That's not where you're going to whoop them. You want to whoop their ass in the bleachers. It's a lot of inconsistencies, man.
When you become emotional and you make decisions, things can go very wrong. And you better hope there's a way out for you. Because some situations, as we all know, they don't turn out well if you make the wrong choice. Or you could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, in front of the wrong person.
That's what happened to Carmelo. In the wrong place at the wrong time in front of the wrong person. Boy, Dad, them kids could have used your knowledge, man. They could have used your wisdom. But I'm quite sure that it took this to get you to think about that. We know you're tight. And let's not act like you ain't get about $700,000-$800,000 from GoFundMe yourself. Why was that? The state brought the case. It wasn't for a legal fund. Were you grifting off of your child's death too? Are you going to start a podcast? Is that what you're going to do? And I'm slow walking this tonight, y'all, so, bear with me. It's not going to be an action-packed show tonight. We got a lot of videos. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this topic because we still got to get on some Asian neck.
And I'm not just talking about Austin. Just visit Chicago for a weekend. How many shootings do they have? And they have gun laws. Woohoo!
Chicago is the only city these people know.
How's that working out for you guys? Just a warning.
Being I'm not from Chicago, it ain't working out for me either way. See, he comes equipped. It's not about race. He's not a racist, but he comes equipped with all of the white supremacist racist talking points. Chicago, black on black crime. That's all a talking point. We're going to look at some crime statistics too when we get off of here. But let's finish listening to this guy.
Karma's a bitch. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I don't have to come after you. It's going to take care of itself. People are going to see you for who you really are now. And if we want to talk individuals, we can, because I couldn't speak about this in court. But I can speak freely now because the gag order is lifted. Tiffany Billions, Wackadoo, McAdoo, whatever her last name is, I'm not going to throw insults at you because I'm not going to lower myself to your level. But you're despicable. Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or Go Send Go money.
All right. Look, that's enough of that. I think it started over. So let me stop sharing that. Let's get back into it, okay? Put your thoughts on that in the comments. If you're not on the live show, on the playback, put your thoughts on Metcalf's dad going off and, you know, coming with all this knowledge and philosophy that he didn't have for his own son. They treat us like we don't know what's going on, like we ain't seen this a million times, you know? But we got other videos here. But I want to put this up. I want to pop this up real quick because people love to talk about what's going on with black folks. What's going on with black folks? What's up with our crime? What's up with our, you know, crime rate, Chicago, all of this shit. But let's take a look at it. This is 2019 FBI data. Y'all can just take a gander over that. FBI index crime arrests by race. You got the R words, you got aggravated assault, burglary, larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, arson. Look at the amount. Look at the disparities. You got a 24% arson percentage of arrests for arson amongst black people. You have a 71.1%. 71.8 motor vehicle theft, 67.6 larceny, 69.8. These people are beating us in every category of crime by about 40%. See for yourself, except for aggravated assault. That's a little bit higher, right at about 30%. They're still higher. When somebody talks about your culture and they use your culture to attack you because of Chicago, you need to have facts. This is facts. Context matters, facts matter, solutions matter. You see right at the bottom of it, right? This top number is outrageous. Bottom number more outrageous than that. So just know that they pretty much lead in every category. But they don't outnumber us by 40%. That's the thing about it. White Americans make up about 57% of this nation. And I got into it with a guy earlier today. I didn't really get into it with him. I just told him, you don't understand math. It was a girl sitting up talking about how black people are 12, 13, what she say, 14% of the population, and we're a self-solving problem. And I'm like, she has zero understanding of math. So if the overall population of the nation has increased and black people are holding at 14% of that increase, and the white population is declining as the population increases, then what is the self-solving problem? Which one is the self-solving problem? I guess she means that it just won't be enough of them to matter in the future. They won't have to worry about black people and other people and brown people and all of this, yellow people and all of this, right? But this just shows you the level of delusion and the illogical thinking that these people suffer from. It's sick. And I didn't take a video of that. I didn't pull the video because it was just ignorant. Totally ignorant, totally uneducated. And when you deal with certain people, man, I'm just going to say this, they're way less educated than you. They don't have to learn about you. All they have to know about is their version of their history. And you're kind of just a tag-along character in that, right? They don't have to learn about you. You have to learn about you, and you have to learn about them. That's why the average foreigner and the average black American is more educated than the average white American. Don't matter about degrees. Y'all don't learn shit. You don't know shit about history, about real history. It's impossible to have discussions with you. It's impossible to have meaningful conversations about it because you don't know shit. And that's just a fact of the matter. And Asians, you guys aren't far behind. We're going to talk about you guys because the stuff that you guys are trying to pull, we're not standing for that. There's certain things that's not going to happen in America, i.e. things that you do in Jamaica, things that you do in Africa. It's not going to happen here. You won't be here much longer anyway, honestly. You fucked over your customer base. I want to show you a video, and I want you to see this guy, and I want you to see this guy's mannerisms, and I want you to listen to what he's talking about. And this is what it's always been about, black people. This is what it's always been about, and this is going to lead me into why I feel like there's a little bit of off-code behavior going on in the Anthony family as well. Like I said, I got a balanced approach to everybody. We all got enough blame to go around. But I want you to check this guy out. And I want you to listen to what he's saying. And even the Metcalf dad talked a lot about this as well. And we're going to come up with a solution for this because there are some black stars that are basically donating money to to Carmelo's appeal fund. And it seems like it's a pretty substantial amount of money. Should be sufficient. But we want to talk about what happened to the first money. But check this guy out first. Oh.
His parents just left the courtroom in tears. Not good for the home team. This is what's interesting. Under Texas state law, in the civil case, he was 17 when he did it. The parents, out of neglect, are going to be liable. So the parents of Austin Metcalf can get all that money. All that money. Take out that house. They're going to get it all. Yes, thank you, Jesus. Justice.
So that's the same type of mentality that they had in Tulsa, Wilmington, Rosewood. All of these areas where they had these hundreds and hundreds of massacres. Let me show you some. Let me show you some. I want you to see the race massacres. Give me one moment. Let me find it here. I want y'all to see this. All right. Yeah, here we go. Let's open that up. Yeah. Let me let this download. But you heard, oh, we're gonna get all that money, we're gonna take the house, we're gonna do this and that. I want you to see this. See, when people talk about our history and they try to gaslight us like we don't know what this shit looks like. These are the black massacres in the years. Half of these places you probably haven't even heard of. And it's probably more. It's probably not all of them. But just look. Eufaula, Camilla, Ocoee, Rosewood, St. Bernard Parish, New Orleans, Thibodaux, Opelousas, Colfax, Slocum, Vicksburg, Tulsa, Elaine, Clinton, Memphis, Atlanta, Wilmington, Charleston, Philadelphia, East St. Louis, Springfield, Chicago, Detroit, New York, Washington, D.C. They're saying that Philadelphia happened in 1985. I have to look that up. So they act like our epigenetics don't even exist. Like we can't pick up on this stuff. I knew as soon as there was an all-white jury, I already knew that Carmelo Anthony was going down. And trying to reason and ration with these people that say things like, if it's self-defense, 13% of the population is fucked. These are the same people that are going to gaslight you and tell you that he had a fair trial. But if somebody feels deep in their heart, like I'm sure a lot of these people feel that are coming out, especially publicly, that black people are inferior, hear me out. Then how could a jury with no black people on it be considered a jury of his peers if we're inferior? Because these people believe both. I don't think they believe either one. But think about that. If you feel like black people aren't human, we're monkeys, we're this, X, Y, and Z, then how can you say that a jury of 12 white people is a jury of his peers? And I'm counting Indian and Hispanic as white. Rightfully so. It's totally illogical. Makes zero sense. But like Mr. Neely Fuller said, white supremacy takes both sides of the argument because they have the power. It's time for us to take some of our power back. But I just wanted you to see this. But yeah, your boy is like, hey man, we getting all that money. He ain't even getting it. But he's happy because he's rich by proxy. See, a lot of them do that too. They just want to be around somebody with money, even if they don't have it. If they're around somebody with money or related to somebody with money, in their mind, it's their money too. They call it being rich by proxy. A lot of Africans do that too. They always bring up the billionaire, the one billionaire in Africa. Change this backdrop up here in a minute. Let's see, why is this shit so big? There we go. I like that a little bit better. All right. What's next? Let's take a look here. We're gonna get into some teaching here in this latter part of the show. Probably gonna take about 5 minutes. We'll play some videos again. Probably play the intro again, just so I can run to the restroom, make me another coffee, and then we'll get back to it. It's not a lot of people in here, so take you a break, and we'll get back to it. One last thing before we go off the Carmelo Anthony situation. I'm going to tell this to my Christian, especially my older black Christians. And you might not like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes you just don't need to talk. Because we know at the end of the day, you're not really going to do anything. So a lot of times the talking is just noise. The mysticism and the praying and all of that stuff is just noise to people. And it comes off as condescending. But this is what we got going on. So I'm going to let you check this guy out. And I want to play something from the old 1968 because I'm going to tell you we're still having the same argument with our elders, especially the Christians. So this is no offense to this brother. But I'm going to be honest. This isn't moving the needle. This isn't doing anything. And maybe it's just his way of venting. He has freedom of speech. It's his way of venting and getting it off his chest. But it's not doing anything. But I'll let you hear it anyway.
I love it. I'm proud to be Christian. But before I'm black, I'm a Christian. Today I heard a disturbing post from somebody I love with.
Okay. So him saying before he's black, he's a Christian, which is going to let you know he will side with white Christians before he sides with black people. Okay? And a lot of people say that. And I have no choice but to think that you mean it. But when you take that position, you're really not taking any position. Just be honest with you. But let's go.
With all of my heart, who said, in light of what's going on today, it's not in proper context to pray for the Austin Metcalf family in their loss. That literally broke my heart into half. I don't know what happened to this person and many others, but you are lost. I'm a Christian before I am black.
End the conversation. That means that you've just neutralized your opinion. It doesn't matter. Go to church.
And you're never going to tell me when is a good context for me to pray for any human being who lost their child.
Well, you don't have to tell us you praying, fam. Nobody would have known who you were praying for unless you were out advertising who you were going to pray for. So once you tell people who you're praying for, they could tell you what context they want to tell you. They want to tell you. That's their opinion.
Whether that person is white, whether it's somebody you like or somebody you hate, I'm thinking of my worst enemy right now. And if my worst enemy lost his child, my arms would be open for them and I would lay my hands on them and I would pray for them. The Metcalfs lost their child. Their child was murdered. They're never going to see their kid again. How dare you say that? You know the Lord. Guys, it's time for us to stop being so pro-black that we forget to be human.
This was the same Lord that told the Israelites to put a mark over their door so the angel of death would pass over their door and go slaughter all of the firstborns of the Egyptians. Now, this is a biblical story. He should know this.
That we forget to be good people. To the Austin Metcalf family, I pray for you. I pray comfort for you in your loss. Losing your child, Lord have mercy. I can only imagine the basket case I would be if I lost one of my children. I would be a complete and total mess, and I would want somebody in my darkest moment to pray for me. But you know what the Metcalf family got? They got people cheering for his son's death because they believed false narratives that were being spread throughout the country to create division amongst us. They celebrated your child's death. I have to give it to you, Mr. Metcalf. I don't know you. I don't know if you're a good person, a bad person. I don't care. But I have to give you credit. You could have easily taken all the anger and hate you feel towards anybody who would hurt your child and been all over social media. You sat silently.
He was under a fucking gag order. Jesus. He was under a gag order. Soon as the gag order was lifted, he's on social media talking crazy. This is why I'm telling you, these Christians and these people that come up with all of this, you know, oh, you got to just turn the other cheek and all of this shit. Did God tell the Israelites to turn the other cheek? when they were in Egypt. Christian. We'll let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish his thought. But it's getting a little long-winded to really be going nowhere. This is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but you'll get nowhere.
And even offered an olive branch while they kicked you out of press conferences, or they tried to paint you as one thing and disrespected your son in your time of loss. I have to commend you. And to the Metcalf family, everybody who's hurting, the father, the mother, the brother, I don't know them. I don't know them. I don't care about their past. I don't know if they're good people, but I pray the Lord comforts you in this time. I know this verdict is not going to bring your son back, but I hope it gives you some sense of closure. But even beyond that, I hope God fills the hole in your heart from the loss of your child. Christians, Black Christians too, we have to do better. The people I'm seeing.
Okay, so you're a Christian before you're Black, but everybody else is Black Christians. Listen to how these folks talk. And words do mean something. He just wants to hear himself talk. He'll be at church tomorrow, Sunday, talking about how he got on social media and publicly said that I was praying for these people.
The things that they're saying. My God, after the verdict was read, his family walked out, and you had people who you probably sat in a pew with in church celebrating the death of a man's son.
Christians used to get lynchings up in church. They'd have lynchings and picnic after church. That's where they meet up at, was the church.
Regardless of his color. I also offer my friends to my prayers and my thoughts and prayers of comfort to the Carmelo Anthony family. I know it's got to be hurtful that now you have to see your son in a prison cell. That has to hurt. No parent wants to see that. So I'm also praying comfort for you in this tough time. But you still get to see your son. In 17 years, your son will get out. He'll be a 34, 35-year-old man on parole. And he'll still have a life. The Metcalfs will never be able to hold their son again. We should all stop for a second. Stop the hatred and stop the vitriol. Stop it. And say a prayer for the Metcalf family. While that man was going through, he did not disrespect you. He didn't say anything to you. He didn't say anything disparaging against Black people or anybody else. He didn't do.
That's since changed. That's changed. If it's not in your heart, you're not going to say it anyway. It's people that have experienced worse. I know a woman that lost 4 of her 5 children. 4 of the 5 children. She outlived 4 of her 5 children. Some of them died violently. I know what real resolve looks like. And I'm not telling anybody how they should grieve, because if I lost mine, I would feel a way. I'd feel a way. But I wouldn't get into gross generalizations. But while I'm talking about generalizing, does this man, Officer Dean Joseph, does he know that he's part of that 13% that Mr. Davis want to wipe out? I ever saw one guy post that all they got to do is say the word and 13% will go to 6% in a day. I had to respond to him. How are y'all going to kill most of us if you guys are scared to come where we are? 7% of the black population isn't coming up to the mountains in the suburbs. Y'all gonna have to come down here where we are, to the city. And we know good and well you guys don't want to do that. You're not capable. And I think you're underestimating who you're calling your enemy too. You don't know enough information about us. All you know is what they teach you about you. And somehow we fit into your little myth of history. But you have zero information about us outside of that. It's all stereotypes. No real intelligence. How's that working for you guys in Iran? And none of you are jumping up to go over there with your tough asses. If you're 40 years old and you're not a veteran at this point in time, and you on here talking like you're a patriot, I don't want to hear anything else you have to say. This country got attacked in 2001. You should be a veteran by now if you're so damn patriotic. Shout out to Tommy B for that. So once I start hearing about your bone spurs and your feet, your flat feet, and my granddaddy was in the military, and now I want to get a free meal at Applebee's on Veterans Day, I automatically cut those conversations off. I'll be like, thank you for your service, sir. I am a veteran. I signed my ass on the dotted line and went and did my time and got discharged honorably. Like 3, 4, 5 generations ahead of me. We've all done it. I'm from a military family. And you got people here hollering 1776, and they literally just crawled off a boat infested with lice in 1921. We're going to talk heavy tonight. We're going to talk real heavy tonight, because this isn't even the main topic of the show, but I've gotten a little sidetracked. Enough of Christian man, but I want you to see something, because this is not new. This is not new. We've been dealing with these people. Check this out. This was 1968 in Chicago. Chicago's a great city, by the way. Just too many immigrants there now. But I want you to see this. This happened in Chicago in 1968. Check this out.
Where you gonna go when we start our revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
I will, as Mr. Meek said, he wouldn't die standing on his feet rather than die on his knees. I will die standing up for God, regardless of any circumstance.
Okay. Have God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a spirit.
No, I ain't born again. I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. You could your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white peoples realize today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negro. The great mass. May I finish? I'll wait.
Okay.
Where you gonna go?
That's your Christian preacher class. Even in I was watching the footage of the Birmingham youth march in Birmingham, where they let the fire hoses and the dogs out on the kids. And those kids wound up meeting up at 16th Street Baptist Church, if I'm not mistaken. They met up at that church. That was the headquarters. But do you realize that in the midst of that, the police, Bull Connor, called out a pastor, and the pastor came out and stopped them from getting violent? Because when people saw what they were doing to children, people started coming out with knives and guns. Nobody ever talks about that in history. and they had to call the pastor out because it was really getting hairy for the police. They had to call the pastor out, and the pastor had to come pacify everybody. These kids had real problems in the 60s, and this was the answer that their religion gave them. Apologetic. So there's nothing wrong with being a Christian. There's nothing wrong with practicing Christian values. Christianity isn't actually the thing that's flawed. It's the humans that's involved in Christianity that's flawed. But to say that you're Christian before you're black, it's not. That's a horrible mentality. And no disrespect intended to that brother. He looked like a tough brother, like he a cop or something. So I ain't gonna talk too much shit. He might be here in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I don't want to get pulled over by him. He'll throw the Bible at me. Yeah, 16th Street Baptist Church is where they met. Yes. And I'm going to show that because I do have the archival footage. If you guys pay attention to the channel, we're going to start releasing the archives. I have all types of footage in the archives, all types of different stuff. And we're going to start releasing this stuff because this stuff is educational. There's a lot of things that's on video that'll answer a lot of these questions that people have. It'll debunk a lot of the stereotypes people have. But you just have to see it. You have to know where to find it. You have to search for knowledge. It doesn't come to you. You have to seek it. Check this out. I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to run the intro back, and then we're going to sit up, and we're going to get into the Asian boycott. Not the boycott of Asian people, but the boycott of Asian businesses. But I do think that I have to run this just for old time's sake before I run the intro, because it's a whole lot of cooning going on this internet. And I don't know why you people are doing what you're doing. Like the praying for, I'm just, look at me. I'm different. I was different. It's a lot of cooning going on the internet. So I think it's time. You need to get a dose.
Remember how you felt when you introduced your female cousin to your mediocre white girlfriend? Or how about when you went out with your white coworkers to happy hour and ended up losing your job with harassment charges? Or even when you interviewed this nigga, knowing good and damn well you weren't gonna hire him because he looked like your baby daddy people, although he was qualified. We at the Big Mike Drop Labs would like to introduce you to Coonitin, a drug for coonish behavior. Doctors reported a 3.8% drop in platinum blonde dark-ass niggas last year alone, and Coonitin has a 75% effectivity rate in old-ass coon niggas. 9% of working-age coons self-reported exercising greater restraint from kissing white folks' asses, thus cutting down on the spread of pink eye in the office. If you're experiencing coonish symptoms, ask your doctor if Coonitin is right for you. Warning, Coonitin does have laxative properties, so don't use it if you're completely full of shit. Coonitin, because coons gotta live too. They might as well be medicated. Also from the makers of Coonitin, divestrogen, a medication for divestors who think no one notices the difference between the wig texture and the texture on the back of your neck. Approved by Dr. Mammy. Patients over 60 are encouraged to receive their Coonitin booster shots every 6 months. Don't be miserable. Get your life back with Coonitin.
Possible side effects include, but are not limited to, headaches, nausea, constipation, diarrhea, blackouts, confusion, muscle spasms, increased ball size, in the case of women, actually believing you have balls, hallucination, paranoia, increased police presence. In extreme cases, you could become a real nigga.
The mic drop.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cooniton in the building. I got to get my applause back. They got old weak ass applause on here. What kind of applause? What the applause sound like on here? Oh yeah, that ain't gonna work. I guess it'll work. But I'll get mine back. I'll get my old applause back. Okay. But thank you for tuning in. We got some people in that I haven't heard from in a while. So Baby Blue, good to see you too. Baby Blue 1877 is good to see you. Shout out to you.
The mic drop.
I definitely got to get that. Let's do it.
Go get that shawl.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that while I take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back in, let's call it 9:30. Okay. So I'll see you guys back at 9:30. Until then, just enjoy a little bit of music and a little bit of background.
mic drop.
That man is a product of a poor environment. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. I can prove it.
Of course, there's something wrong with him. He's a Negro.
Somebody drop this fool for me.
The mic drop.
While freedom of speech is one of the most sacrosanct freedoms in American history, there are a variety of exceptions to the general principle that speech is protected under the First Amendment. We will discuss 6 such categories: incitement, fighting words, obscenity, defamation, commercial speech, and cases in which freedom of speech is outweighed by an even more compelling interest. We'll start with
the mic drop.
Black community says let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see you.
All right, man, we back, man. Welcome to the mic drop. This is your host, Big Mike. I'm in the building. Look, watch the beginning. Watch the very beginning. If you haven't seen it, catch us on the playback. Leave your comments. Comments are welcome. Let me get my microphone adjusted. Can you hear me? All right, good. Yeah, comments are welcome. But today, the major topic, like I said, I didn't want to spend as long as I did on the Carmelo Anthony case, but I think that these two converge. These two are related, okay? So I decided to kind of mash them into one mega show. But our main concern right now, and what kind of set everything into motion, was the acquittal of Rick Chow, 61 years old, Columbia, South Carolina. Rick Chow was acquitted, found not guilty for shooting 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton in the back, 130 yards from the store, because they thought that he stole water. They thought he stole water. Action. Thought. That's the actionable word. They thought. They didn't see him steal water. They thought they saw him steal water. In which case, there was an altercation in the store. or interaction, I should say, in the store, not necessarily the altercation, in which they attempted to illegally search Mr. Carmack Belton. And he wasn't going for it. Now, he did comply. He left his book bag at the front of the store when he came in. So he retrieved his book bag, and then he was approached. And they wanted him to empty his pockets. He shook his pockets, told him he didn't have anything. Of course, if you shake water, you know water's going to make a sound, right? So if you shake water, it makes a sound. Here's a water right here. Check it out. You hear that? So if I shake my pocket, I don't have any water, you're going to hear that sound, right? In fact, I'm going to get me some of this. Refreshing. But you're going to hear that sound if somebody has water on them. It's not like water is weightless. It's not like it's a piece of candy, right? So anyway, according to Mr. Child's son, who then took off and pursued Mr. Carmack Belton, he said that Mr. Carmack Belton had a pistol on him and turned around and flashed a pistol at him. Okay, all good and fine. If he was shot in the chest, it may be a different story. But this kid was shot in the back. Upon the acquittal of Mr. Chow, the black community was apparently upset. We're tired of watching people kill our children. So there was some blowback. It was very reminiscent of Latasha Harlins in South Central Los Angeles, or some part of I think it's South Central Los Angeles, where Latasha Harlins had a similar situation. Shot in the back of her head, 15 years old. And that was a major contributing factor to the LA riots. But like the black people, like we are, we're forgiving, we're loving people. We accepted you back. A boycott went on for a little bit in that area, not nationwide, and we accepted you guys back. Still no customer appreciation days. Nothing but dirty looks. You got to ask for your change back in a lot of these places. Horrible facilities, no restroom. This is what we get while we make you rich. So we decided to come up with the Hurry Up, Don't Buy campaign. Hurry up, don't buy. Let me go ahead and put this up. Let's stop playing. Here we go. This is Mammy Tan, ladies and gentlemen. Mammy Tan. Hurry up, don't buy. Because it's time to teach these people a little bit of respect. Very, very, very disrespectful. And we'll get into why. And some of them know. Some of them are smart. Some of them are cool. I grew up with Asian kids. Went to church, went to school with Asian kids. And I hate to have this conversation, just like I grew up with white kids. Went to school, went to church with white kids. And I hate to have these conversations, but if I'm going to have them about my own, then I'm going to have them about y'all ass. Bottom line. Not making any excuses or qualms about it. Okay? Because when I looked online and I saw this gentleman talking, I knew I had to get involved. This is what set it off for me.
Black community says let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
All right. So Mr. Hong, or whatever his name is, he's the one who really kind of started me down this path. First of all, let's address what he talked about in this video. Get rid of Chinese food. We're going to have a discussion about Chinese food tonight. Get rid of Chinese food. Get rid of liquor stores, as if Asians own all of the liquor stores. You can buy liquor from Total Wine and More. There's different places you can go. In Alabama, you got the ABC store. That's not owned by Asians. So you can get liquor without having to go through Asians. Shower caps. Jordans. If Jordans were made by Asian, they would be named after an Asian. They'd be Jeremy Lings or something of that nature. Y'all didn't make Jordans. You manufactured Jordans for cheap, which is why they have you. You don't have the intellectual property on Jordans. You didn't create the car. You didn't create the assembly line. Guess who did create the assembly line? George Washington Carver. And you can look that up. Henry Ford and George Washington Carver. So you guys didn't create that. You didn't create harnessing electricity. You didn't create the light bulb. You didn't create half of the things that you use in manufacturing. You didn't create. You didn't create the technology for the telephone. What are we doing here? Just because I manufacture something doesn't mean that you can't have it without me. You can always find another manufacturer. And I wouldn't even be bragging about that because a lot of those folks where you from are still dirt poor. And they create all of this expensive, fancy stuff, right? None of which you sell in your stores, by the way. And that's what we were targeting. We were targeting the stores because that's where the most problems and interactions are happening. The stores, the nail salons, and the beauty stores. That's just it's a $9 billion business. We're going to need a piece of that. If y'all want to continue doing business at the levels you're doing it, then I suggest you find a black woman to make $1 billion now. That's your market. But most of the stuff they sell in their stores, they go to Sam's Club. They're right in Sam's Club buying that shit. They buy a box of M&Ms for $10. They turn around and sell them for $2 a piece. That's easy. My grandparents owned the store. Both grandparents, my mother's parents and my father's parents owned stores and gas stations. So buy low, sell high is not some revolutionary business practice. That's what we do in the United States of America. But Chinese food. Name one thing that he said on that list that we need, that we just can't live without. I'm quite sure we can live without Chinese food. We'll probably live longer. And by the time this show is over, if you eat Chinese food, then you just nasty. I'm going to show you something about that. But the audacity of these people. But, oh, buddy, Mr. Ho. That's what I'm going to call him. I don't know his name, Mr. Ho. We'll call him Mr. Ho. Mr. Ho was actually not as disrespectful as he could have been. You could just tell that he's clueless, and he was inducted into a welfare system because he said, oh, just go to the bank. and get a business. Like, no black people thought about going to the bank to get a business, right? That's something they reserve for you guys, business loans, so you can get a business. They don't offer that to us. We have to get it out the mud and come with the cash already in hand. There's no handouts for us. Everything we build from the ground up with no help from the bank or the banking system. You go to school. He mentioned school. Asians, Chinese in particular, have been in this country since the 1840s. Why would you have to sue Harvard because they're not letting you guys in? And then you sued Harvard and you made it seem like black people are getting in over you and you're better than the black people that are trying to get in. So you pretty much messed up affirmative action, but it messed it up for yourself. You've been here since the 1840s. Why is there not a Chinese university in America? We have black universities. And we can still get into Harvard. Trust me, I know. But you guys pulled the rug from under yourself, trying to pull the rug from under us. And you know why it works that way? It's because your freedoms that you enjoy here are inextricably linked to black people. And the girl in the video said it before, and she was telling the truth. And the clapbacks are amazing. I love my people, man. I love my folks. The mic drop. Look at this. Hold on one sec. I can't do this no more. Give me one moment. Trash that. Trash. And then I want to add. I need my applause, guys. I got to have my applause. There we go. There we go. Much better. Much better. So you guys are here off our backs. And shout out to those of you who know that. It's not all bad. But we are going to have to come to the negotiating table. We're not going to let you off scot-free this time. There's going to have to be a tax. Those of you who came out, I appreciate it. But we got to get to the bottom of the lies before we can go any further. So as of now, it's still hurry up, don't buy. The mic drop.
Somebody drop this fool for me.
Love it. Love it. All right. So we had my man come out. You know, he told us everything that they do that we can't do, and we can't live without them and this and that. But then it starts to get increasingly more disturbing as time goes. Just more disturbing, more disrespectful. They're obviously upset. I guess I'd be upset too. But we need to let China know, we need to let Korea know that there's a major customer service issue in their American market with a substantial portion of the U.S. market. So I'm sure out of the $9 billion that the hair industry is worth, we probably spend $4 billion. It's a big drop. So if you're listening to me in China, you guys have a major customer service issue in America on the ground. Perhaps you should look for new distributors. Do you want the market or do you want the distributor? Something for you to think about. But it starts getting increasingly more disrespectful. So then we have this Asian chick. I think she's black, but check her out.
Cancel everybody, boycott this.
but you took the time to make the video, your ass care. You care plenty. Trust me on that. All right, y'all. Thank you for the ones. I see them.
Wrong video. My fault. But check her video out too if you can find her on social media. Super disrespectful. Talking about you can keep your bald head ass and all that stuff. I mean, so black women, man, I'm telling you, I know y'all feel like y'all need this stuff, but think about what it's doing to your health. Think about what it's doing to your hair edges. Think about what it's doing to your eyelashes. And think about the amount of money that you're spending on this stuff, on these nails, on this hair. You know, it's kind of outrageous, and it's getting to the point where it's overkill. A lot of you look like trannies. Be honest. That's why niggas getting food out here, because a lot of you out here looking like transsexuals. Makeup caked on, hair, wigs, lashes, fake, everything. Down to your ass. I don't know when black women didn't think they had enough ass. I don't know when that happened. And I know a lot of you aren't going to want to hear it. And a lot of you are still going to Asian stores. And I'll talk about why it doesn't take everybody to stage a successful boycott. Okay? But this is the lady that really killed me. And I'll let it play out because I want you to hear the guy that comes on after this.
This is gonna be an unpopular fucking opinion, and I'm gonna call you out since you motherfuckers don't seem to fucking understand. Every single one of you over there boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate, you fucking black fucking people with your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call niggerism. Yeah, not my words, those are your people words. You people that is living in that black culture mentality, the poor victim mentality, thinking that people still owe you fucking reparations. Yeah, you motherfuckers. I'm the one talking to you motherfuckers. Every single one of you failing in life. And
look, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put it on here because I'm going to need to pause this. It's kind of long, and I definitely need to be able to, I need to talk to old girl. So where is it at? Give me 1 second here. Let's take a look at that.
Popular fucking call you out since you motherfuckers don't seem to fucking understand. Every single one of you over there boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate, you fucking black fucking people with
boycotting your fucking business isn't spreading Asian hate. And how far do you think you're going to get with Trump on that Asian hate thing if y'all want to push the fucking issue? Retarded ass Joe Biden is gone.
I think you're way out of line talking to me like that. And you're in no position to challenge my expertise.
your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call niggerism. Yeah, not my words, those are your people words. You people that is living in that black culture mentality, the poor victim mentality, thinking that people still owe you fucking reparation. Yeah, you motherfuckers.
All right, so let's put this into a historical perspective while she's talking. And I want to do that because she talks about victim mentalities. I love that where it's paused at too. That looked like the old Chinese cartoons and shit. But she talks about a victim mentality. Do you realize that most of these countries that these people come from, we've been to war with all or half of that country? Now, chances are she's Vietnamese. She's either Vietnamese or Korean. I can't see her eyes, but she's looking Vietnamese to me because she's a little dark to be a Korean. Vietnam? Do you realize how disrespectful this rant is? Do you realize how many people we sent to Vietnam? Black Americans that went to Vietnam. Black Americans that perished in Vietnam. Only to still lose North Vietnam. And a lot of the South Vietnamese had to come here as refugees. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I was alive and there when a lot of Vietnamese first came to Mobile. And when I tell you, when they got there, they didn't have anything. They got a loan to get a store. And a lot of times, if you go home and you go to those stores, and I'm not going to tell you what we call those stores, because that is racist. But if you go to those stores, a lot of those people in those new stores are living in the store. Granddad on a cot in the back watching a black and white TV. All the kids behind the counter. Bulletproof glass. It's 5 or 6 people. They live in the fucking store. But now she has a Benz and she has a little nail shop. And she probably running around looking like a little spider monkey with her feet all spread out, hanging over her flip-flops and shit. And she's talking this type of shit to black Americans.
I'm the one talking to you, motherfucker. Every single one of you failing in life.
Every single one of you failing. I don't even know what failing is, but okay. In life, every single one of you failing in life. But you tell us not to generalize, and you're talking to the most generalized population of people in this country. All y'all do is fucking generalize us. That's all you do. That's why you can't tell who's stealing, who not stealing. You don't need to be in our neighborhood selling to us if you're afraid. Hurry up, don't buy, man.
And then you want to blame everybody else. You see this whole Cyrus case and Mr. Chow? None of this would have happened if you motherfuckers raised your fucking kids right. That fucking little boy witnessed some of his business trying to steal fucking water.
Do you know how many drugs and guns and everything else stolen some of your kids have and sell? See, these people act like they're part of some secretive culture that nobody knows. You can look at endless news stories. It's hundreds. They got rings where they arrested 40, 50 people. Human trafficking rings. Where they arresting 40 or 50 people in different states. All you got to do is look it up. There are people coming over in shipping containers. They have to work off debts. There's a deep, deep, deep criminal culture. And it's been happening since the 1840s. When the Chinese came over for the gold rush, they brought opium. You ever seen the old movies where they sitting back in the opium den? That came from Chinese immigrants. There were wars fought over opium. So you're looking at some of the first drug traffickers in the United States. And they think people don't know. They can sit behind the wheel of their Benz and talk crazy with these big stupid ass glasses on.
Okay? Now, I might not agree with Mr. Chow chasing the fucking boy and shooting him fucking in Timbuktu, okay, wherever the fuck he was. But here's the crazy part. If you had disciplined your fucking boy right, he wouldn't be in someone's store trying to steal fucking a 50-cent bottle of fucking water in the first.
The boy didn't steal the water. So you double wrong. That came out in court. See, there are records that exist where you don't have to believe that bull. You can actually go pull up the records and see that the boy didn't steal the water, and they admitted that he didn't steal the water. So what you're saying is a moot point. You're just getting your shit off, which is fine. Get it off. We're not spending a dime with you.
Somebody drop this fool for me.
Go get it, Shaw.
First place, okay? Not only that, you go and attack the fucking attorney defending his clients, and then here's the truth of the matter. Your people, there are 7 black jurors who found your kid responsible, making Mr. Chow, okay, not guilty because they understand your fucking culture, your mentality. You failed your kid. Your society failed your kid. Your mentality failed your kid. That niggerism fucking attitude failed your Be an unpopular fucking opinion, and I'm gonna call you out since.
All right. So she was able to go off on her rant. She was able to get a little joint off her chest, right? What are we going to do about this? She mentioned culture several times. And I'm going to be honest, man, like when it comes down to cultural things, man, we kind of just let some things slide when they say about, Asian people. We want everybody to kind of be involved in the building of America. But literally, you'll have somebody that sit up and tell me, a black man, that the Chinese built the railroads. They'll tell you that the Chinese built the railroads. Not only did 80% of the railroads get built by black Americans, some of them were enslaved. And then after slavery was ended, we still worked on the railroads. I got a video of Zora Neale Hurston's travels. It was her field work. And it's a video that she made with her little, movie reel, her little film projector or whatever, or film recorder. This is in 1928. And I'll show it to you. But this stuff is proven. But not only did we build the railroads, a lot of the land speculation and money was taken and embezzled from the Freedmen's Bank. So we financed the railroads. There are a lot of railroad companies still in existence that owe us money. All that money, we coming for it. What the white boys say, all that money, we're going to take the house and all the money. But this is proven. These is facts. You can go check the records. Check this out. This is Zora Neale Hurston. And this looks like it's in Florida somewhere. You see the railroad. And I'm talking about chopping it down and making the ties right there on the spot. Clearing the land, making the ties right there on the spot. Running the machinery. See any Chinese folks out there? I'll wait. You get the idea. It's silent. You don't have to see the whole thing. You get the idea. You see who was out there working. Now, they'll sit there and say the Irish built the railroads. The Irish did build some of the railroads. But what you have to realize is the Irish weren't white then. They're white now. They weren't white then. So these people really got their shit off on us over this last week. I'm talking about, a child gets murdered and they sit back. And this happened in 2023, but the trial just concluded last week. And they sit back and ridicule this man's mother, ridicule parents, ridicule the rest of the black nation, because it's 49, 50 million of us. We're not a community. And they expect us to turn around and show all of this love and affection for Austin Metcalf's family. And they show zero for ours. Zero. That lady pissed me all the way off. I had to wait a few days on behalf of that because her voice, the way she was mispronouncing shit, and, just her certainty about what she was saying, kind of like the other guy, his certainty about what he was saying was getting under my skin because they really thought they were eating, but you're not eating, you're manufacturing. Y'all still mostly eat rice. Be honest. If you take the population of Asians and Indians, you literally have 2/3 of the world, almost 2/3 of the world's population. Maybe half of the world's population. Let's say that. Half of the world's population between the Asian continent and the Indian subcontinent. So if it's 7 billion of y'all and 2 or 3 million of you got great jobs, what is that really saying for the rest of you that's living below the poverty line? It sounds to me like you're the poorest people in the world. You have the biggest crime problems. Every problem that we have, you have that God knows how many times. I mean, what's 50 million up against 4 billion? And 3.9 billion of them still over there. When you start to say this stuff out loud, the argument makes no sense. It starts to break down. I want to play a few rebuttals because this thing is going to pick up. This is not going to be something that lasts for, 2 months like the Target thing. One girl brought up the Target thing, and I get it. But Target didn't have an end game. There was no end game to the Target boycott. And when there's no end game, there's really no need in starting it. You got to be ready to bed down for a year, maybe years. The Montgomery bus boycott took over a year. These people put the mechanisms in place to carpool, walk to work, ride a bike, do anything but catching the bus. When the bus was the most convenient, it almost bankrupted Montgomery. So this is a long game situation. We don't need everybody to participate. You got people on Facebook and, social media showing a nail salon with one black person in there talking about, oh, you see, there's no boycott. Y'all gonna start the boycott soon. First of all, Africans and Jamaicans and everybody else that look black, that's not black Americans, they still gonna come because they just don't have the dignity and pride that we have, right? This is the truth of the matter. So when you see black faces, don't think that you're winning. What we want to look at is that ledger at the end of the year, the end of the month, month over month, year over year. 15%. If 15% of us stop coming in and spending money, and that compounds and aggregates from month to 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 month. What does your business look like in 6 months? What does your business look like in a year? You think that we don't know how to do this stuff? You think we don't know and have the skills to do this stuff? Black women started nails. Black women started hair. They started wigs. So what do you think? Where do you really think this is going? It's different than a boycott because the end game is for you to go out of business. Leave the store, and one of us buys the store. We know how to treat our people right. And yeah, we got people that do bad stuff. Every civilization, every culture has unsavory characters. We've seen more than enough examples of that. We know how to deal with that too. So don't think for 1 second that we need you. I don't ever have to go to a beauty store. Like, honestly, I can get all my stuff from Walmart. Y'all don't sell nothing white folks don't sell for me. at least Walmart hires black people. At least when you walk into Walmart, you see black faces providing and feeding their families. So white America, white corporate America has figured out something that you guys haven't figured out yet, but you will figure it out. I promise you. You'll figure it out. Oh, you're going to get it. You definitely going to get it. The mic drop. I did this show by myself tonight on purpose because I just need to cook. We'll get the panel back up next week, but I needed to cook on this tonight and stay on track. We got a lot to talk about. This is probably going to have to be 2 different shows. I ain't going to lie. I'm probably not going to get through all of it tonight. But I do want to break down and address at least what old boy was saying on his video. But let's do, since we heard the Asian lady go off, we got to give it to a sister. We got to hear the sister go off. If you got the kids up, put the kids to bed, put some cotton in their ears, because this sister goes off.
Mind you, bitch, I don't really make no video on the weekends, bitch, because that's my tempo. But I'm saying on motherfucking peril eaters, a.k.a. Asian motherfuckers, making they think pieces on this Cyrus case and how they blaming the black community and he stole water because he's ghetto and the black mamas ain't teaching they black children, blase, whoop de whoop. They saying all this because we said we boycotting they motherfucking peril eating businesses, bitch. Huh? That's why. So now you got a think piece on the black community, bitch. But let me tell you something. I don't take advice from no motherfucking body. Especially a motherfucking Asian, a motherfucking Caucasian, a Indian. None of you motherfuckers can give me advice on the black community, bitch. Because the problems that we have probably start with you, ho. So you can't inform me about me. No escuche, bitch. I'm not trying to hear that. Just say you mad, bitch, because we about to boycott them motherfucking business, bitch. That's how you eat, ho. That's how you break bread, bitch, off of black dollars. Just like we give it to you, bitch, we can take it away, ho. We did it to Target, and now we're going to do it to your motherfucking businesses, bitch. So you can have your motherfucking opinions on the black community, bitch, but one thing you can't have is our black dollars, ho. So go ahead and spread the word, bitch, to your other motherfucking dog eaters. That we no longer patronizing your motherfucking business, bitch. Now, run and tell that, bitch. Run and tell that. Since y'all on the internet, talking on rah, bitch, out your motherfucking beef suckers, ho. Run and tell that. We'll shut your shit down, bitch, because you like to put them in our community anyway and then complain about us. Bitch, you like our black data but not our black skin. But that's okay. Un momento, bitch. Give me just a minute of your time. We gonna get you too, bitch. Just like we doing Target. You're not exempt. Fuck you mean? On that type shit. Who fuck y'all think y'all is? We'll see. The fuck? Let me go back to my motherfucking weekend. The nerve of you motherfucking meow eaters, bitch, as if you not in the U.S. because of black folks, bitch. The Civil Rights Act got your monkey ass here, ho. So how the fuck you gonna try to be against my motherfucking community and we the reason why you here? See, y'all forget, bitch, but I'm just a motherfucker to remind you. Stop playing on our motherfucking tops, bitch, because now we're gonna show who we really is, ho. Don't worry about me or my motherfucking community, bitch. Worry about yours. And them pets you fucking eating, bitch. And them motherfucking viruses y'all be spreading. Ho. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So you see the temperature is rising. Shots is fired. We had shots from the yellow team and now shots back from the black team. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? This is what capitalism and competition is all about, people. Businesses go out of business every day. Trust me, I know. So, it's going to be interesting. I think we got the resolve to show we can weather the storm. There's nothing really needed from these people. But these sisters have been stepping up. I love to see sisters step up in a leadership position, and I love to see sisters with the history right. I thought this was funny, though. Check this
power, because delineation has made the foundation of Black American community hyper aware. And these mouthpieces, they have zero influence over us at all. You understand?
All right, hold on. That was the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Let me pull the right one up that's silent so we can actually listen to it. All right, where is it? Give me 1 second here. On the desktop. Oh, did I not pull it up? All right, well, never mind. Never mind. I ain't gonna be able to do that one either. I apologize, guys. I apologize. The mic drop.
Go get it, y'all.
All right, so let's get up out of here. Let's get back to it. All right. Well, anyway, I was just going to show you this. I mean, you can kind
power,
of
because delineation has made the foundation of Black American community hyper aware.
Let's remove that, because I want you to read this, because this brother ate on this post, man. It's kind of long, but brother really ate. He ate good too.
Has made.
All right. So look. So let's go back here. Everybody keep talking about stay out of them Asian establishments. Stay the F off Shein, Temu, and TikTok shop too, damn it. So instead of going back and forth with him, my brother just hit him with some truth over here. So check out this truth that bro did.
Asian Black American.
Bro came through. So let's pause it right there. How about they stop using the telephone, the light bulb, central heating, forced air heating systems, radiator efficiency, thermostat regulation, air conditioning, labor and duct innovation, ventilation systems, traffic light automation, electric signal timing, railway signaling systems, the assembly line labor, precision tooling, time motion efficiency, interchangeable parts mastery, Silicon Valley engineering labor, semiconductor fabrication, clean room protocols, early coding logic, algorithm testing, cybersecurity labor, IT backbone labor, Wall Street financial infrastructure, banking labor, clearing houses, risk modeling, bond trading systems, Black Wall Streets across America, Tulsa, Durham, Rosewood, Atlanta, Chicago, Jackson, Memphis, Atlanta, Waco, New Orleans, St. Louis. Insurance, mutual aid societies, early credit and lending circles, the home computer, the home video, game industry controllers, joystick design, arcade culture, the technology inside a cell phone, lithium battery refinement, antenna tuning, signal compression. I mean, he just goes on and on and on. Refrigerator technology, refrigerated transport, cold chain logistics, food preservation science, mass food distribution systems, the blood bank, separating blood from plasma or plasma from blood. Stop fucking playing with us, man.
I think you're way out of line talking to me like that. And you're in no position to challenge my expertise.
Exactly. Get it right. The chicken wings you guys cook, half the food you guys cook, is food for us. Turkey necks, seafood boils, low country boils. Where y'all getting that from? This is why the truth matters. It's why the truth matters. And you need to know the truth. So when somebody comes with this ignorant mess that they're talking, you have something to back your claims up with. You don't have to get emotional. Just start dropping facts and watch them get emotional.
I think you're way out of line talking to me like that. And you're in no position to challenge my expertise.
That's going to kill them. That's going to kill them. But my man mentioned Chinese food. We're going to get on Chinese food. I'm going to tell you about something that happened in China, and I bet you probably won't want to eat Chinese food after this. I bet you won't want to eat that. But before then, we're gonna listen to this sister talking about why boycotts fail.
Do you want to know why black boycotts fail? Every month, I drive through this apartment complex to my black-owned dog groomer, and on every single corner, I see Hispanic entrepreneurs and hustlers selling food, beverages, household supplies, beauty supplies, honey, every single corner, exactly where their community lives. That is convenience, and that is what we are missing. Black people are 14% of the population, but we own just 2% of businesses that can employ at least one person. Now, here's what we do. For those who cannot afford a brick and mortar, honey, we got to take it to the corner. We have boycotted before. Latasha Harlins, George Floyd, honey. We buy black and that gets loud, and then we quiet down for the comfort of convenience. We need to be like the water boys on the corner. Buy your products wholesale, honey, and go ahead and sell retail, babe. Make your money. Talk to your apartment manager. Pay to rent the corner, honey. Get the proper permits, honey, and keep all the profit. A tent and a folding table is all you need, baby. No brick, no mortar. I led a movement called My Black Receipt. Where over 17 days, we had thousands of people spend $5 million in black-owned businesses in response to the protests. The movement was unsustainable because convenience beat out the commitment to buy black on a regular and consistent basis. This video is getting too long, but I have to say this. I remember this girl on TikTok, licensed lash tech, couldn't afford brick and mortar, was doing lashes in the front seat of her car. That's how dogged we need to get. Otherwise, this boycott is temporary.
All right, shout out to that sister right there, man. She telling the truth. She's spitting facts. She's spitting facts. So take notes. Buy low, sell high. Or if you're in the price competition, buy low and sell at 90% of what you can get. Let's see, who else we got? All right, I think it's only right to maintain a balanced position so nobody will sit up and say Big Mike was on here being racist and all of that. To maintain a balanced position, we will listen to China Mac. And it's another young lady that was really intelligent, that was really dropping facts and telling the truth. And I doubt that they'll listen to her. She was actually at the beginning, but I'll put hers back on. Give me 1 second. But right now, in the meanwhile, let's listen to China Mac, because the Asian community probably should listen to China Mac. You should probably listen to him. He's dropping some real gems for you guys.
Yo, this boycott might be the wake-up call that Asian people really needed. Hear me out. Everybody worried about how this boycott is going to hurt Asian businesses, but I'm more interested in what this boycott is going to make us become. Let's be real. Most of us are operating on formulas that were built 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago by our parents and grandparents. Shit not the same no more. The world changed since then. Technology changed. Communication changed. Man, everything changed. The only thing that ain't really changed is our systems. And here's another thing. Most other people look at Asians like we all the same, but that could be farthest from the truth. Because Asians as a whole is actually divided as fuck. Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Cambodian, Thai, Filipino. Those are all people from different countries.
And I'll say it as many times as I need to.
But in America, everybody looks at us like we're the same. So this boycott ain't just going to affect one group of Asians. It's going to affect Asians collectively in America. And history has shown when pressure is applied to different groups of people at the same time, it has a way of making us realize that we got more in common than we actually thought. So could this boycott hurt many Asian businesses? You damn right. But could it also wake the Asian people up in a way that we never saw before? Absolutely. It can make us rethink how we operate and come up with new formulas instead of relying on old ones. It can make younger Asians start stepping up in a way that Asians ain't never stepped up before. Because one thing we Asians have always been good at is adapting. When times get hard, we adjust. When old opportunities disappear, we make new ones. When doors close, we build our own. So the question shouldn't be, what if the boycott hurts Asians? The question should be, what if this boycott wakes us the fuck up?
Shout out to China Mac, man. Shout out to China Mac. There is a group of people in this community that do understand what's going on, and they value black business. They value what we've done for them. So I'm not going to sit up and go off on everybody, but the ones that are going off and acting crazy and talking out the side of their neck, y'all need to get them checked ASAP, man. They're going to mess it up for everybody. I promise you, they're going to mess it up.
Through thick skulls. The only reason why Asians exist in America in such a large population is because black activists fought for our right to be here during the civil rights movement. White people did not want us here. It's not enough for for Asian people to just be not racist. You have to be anti-racist, and you have to be speaking out against these injustices, or else they'll continue to happen. We absolutely owe the Black community solidarity, and the sooner that we realize that we're not much different from each other is the sooner that real change starts.
So there's a video going around of an Asian man who I think is a nail tech.
All right. So she was telling the truth, man. She was telling the truth, and I'm showing just some illustrations of what cartoons used to look like depicting Asians back at the turn of the 20th century, end of the 19th century, turn of the 20th century. Chinese Exclusion Act. Frederick Douglass is the one who fought against the Chinese Exclusion Act. The famous black abolitionist Frederick Douglass. W.E.B. Du Bois. A lot of people advocated for Asians to come into this country. Even after we went to war with them. The Japanese, the Koreans. My grandparents were Korean war veterans. My grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather was in Korea. My grandmother was in Fort Lee, Virginia. And I got the pictures. I'll show you. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to get copies of it made because there's a lot of other women on those pictures, too. A lot of other people's grandmothers and great-grandmothers. So I want to see who's who. Might have something for you. If your grandmother was in the Army in 1952 at Fort Lee, Virginia. I want to say it was Company K, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're listening and you're within earshot of me, and your grandmother or great-grandmother was in Company K in Fort Lee, Virginia in 1952 during the Korean War, shout out to me. Let me know. Get in the inbox. Leave me a message. I got pictures. So this is near and dear to me because we had people that put their asses on the line to come save you guys. And this is the type of thanks that we get. Let's go back to what old boy was talking about with Chinese food. You know, there's always been, you even heard old girl stating that, people eating dogs and eating cats. And, one of the foundations for the Asian hate was people talking about Chinese people and their diets and what they eat and how they might not be eating clean animals. There's been rumors over years in different places, especially in the hood, of them cooking animals that we normally don't eat and putting that in our food. It's been a long-running thing. I can't say yay or nay. I've never gotten anything. I've gotten some meats that were a little bit too moist. They weren't the texture of a chicken, but they say it's chicken. It wasn't the texture of beef, but they say it's beef. But what if I told you that between 1966 and 1976, during the Cultural Revolution in China, which is not too long ago, something even sicker was going on? You can look this up. I'm talking about the Guangxi Massacre. And I want you to check these little shorts out about what occurred during the Guangxi Massacre. Uh-oh. My bad. Check this out.
Cannibalism. Did you know that during China's Cultural Revolution, an entire province turned to systematic cannibalism as a form of political punishment? In Guangxi province between 1966 and 1976, Communist Party officials transformed political persecution into something far more horrifying. What started as struggle sessions against so-called class enemies quickly escalated into organized murder and consumption. Party leaders didn't just encourage this madness, they systematized it. Human flesh was distributed like government rations. School cafeterias served meals made from political dissidents. Neighbors were forced to participate in cannibalistic rituals against people they once called friends. The psychological horror went beyond the acts themselves. Ordinary citizens had to choose between participating in these ritualistic killings or becoming victims themselves. Children watch their teachers disappear, only to unknowingly consume them days later in school lunches. For decades, the Chinese government buried this truth. Only leaked documents revealed the full scope of what happened. An estimated 100,000 people died in Guangxi alone, with thousands consumed in what officials called revolutionary justice. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the systems we create ourselves. Did you know that during Mao's Cultural Revolution, people were literally eating each other to prove their loyalty to the Communist Party? From 1966 to 1976, China descended into absolute madness. Students were told to torture their teachers to death, then cook their flesh in school cafeterias. This wasn't just murder. It was organized cannibalism disguised as revolutionary spirit. In Guangxi province alone, over 10,000 people were consumed by their own neighbors and classmates. Local officials held what they called flesh banquets, where human hearts and livers were served like delicacies. The more you ate, the more loyal you appeared to Mao's regime. Children were forced to eat their own parents who had been labeled as enemies of the state. Families turned against each other in the most horrifying way imaginable. The starvation was so severe and the psychological breakdown so complete that entire communities began treating human flesh as a normal food source. What started as political purification became a nightmare where survival meant consuming your neighbors. This continued for years, normalized by fear and desperation.
You can look that up, y'all. The cartoons were cool, kind of a way to summarize it for you, but there's plenty of documentation. So when you start talking about eating at restaurants, when you know certain information about certain cultures, and the Cultural Revolution is for the Communist Party that's still in existence in China today. 1966 through 1976 wasn't that long ago. So I'm not really comfortable myself, even though you may be cooking chicken. I'm just not comfortable because of your culture. See how that works? Everybody has things in their culture that aren't pretty. We don't have a ritualistic, systemic cannibalism culture in Black America, though. So I'm saying that to say this. When you live in a glass house, you shouldn't really throw stones. When it comes to culture, how many millions of Chinese people were killed? How many millions of people did the Japanese kill? How many hundreds of thousands and millions of people did Pol Pot kill in the killing fields of Kampuchea, also known as Cambodia, to where they didn't even have bullets? They didn't have enough guns and weapons. People started taking garden hose and hammers to each other. This isn't all Asian people. It's not every Asian country. They're very stratified. There are differences. Call a Korean, a Japanese person, and see the reaction that you get. So they're not a monolith either. But there are things and common threads that run through all of their societies, i.e., America, Black Americans over there fighting for you, helping you fight your battles. Black Americans helping you get here. Black Americans helping you stay here. Black Americans keeping Chinese people out of slavery. You guys should have more respect for us than you have. But I think we're going to have to show you. And we can show you better than we could tell you. Once the women get pissed off and fed up, it's done. Because men, just like church, men don't really have to go. We don't have to be in your places. And nobody ever needs Chinese food. That's something people want. My granddad never ate Chinese food. And he would get upset with us when we would eat it. Guess our elders know more than we think. Listen to your elders. This isn't to disparage anybody. This is literally to educate people. Because what we're dealing with and what just happened in Chicago, which is what I'm going to show you next, is going too far. Now you're getting beside yourself. And what happens when you get beside yourself? You write checks that your ass can't cash. So this next story I'm going to show you, this is outrageous to me. And it should be outrageous to you. But I know some of y'all going to have shit to talk. So, you know, it is what it is, man.
Go get it, y'all.
Chicago police released new photos tonight of the man they're searching for in connection with a cross burning in Grant Park. Community leaders are blasting the display of the symbol and racism and white supremacy in this city. The FBI is now involved in the investigation. WGN's Dana Rebick joins us live in Grant Park with the latest on that. Dana.
Good evening, Micah. Well, we know there are cameras all over the city of Chicago, and in the latest picture that Chicago police released earlier this evening, you can get a very clear look at this man's face. Police say that he ran from Grant Park shortly after this cross was set on fire.
We were feeling a variety of emotions because this is not something, you expect to see here.
Kanika Carlton and her daughter were driving down Lakeshore Drive near Balbo around 2:30 Tuesday afternoon when they saw flames coming from Grant Park.
We thought it was just a tree branch burning, and we were going to call just 911 to say, hey, it's something burning. But as we got closer, that's when we noticed it was a cross.
I was horrified. I was angry. This was very, very intentional. You had to have made this cross, put it in some kind of vehicle, brought it downtown, carried it over to putting against a tree, which has another whole symbolism, and then lighting on a fire. You were sending a message.
Chicago police releasing new images of a suspect wanted in connection to the arson. The man with dark hair first seen crossing a street, then running, wearing dark pants, white shoes, and a black backpack with no shirt. The woman who took this cell phone video thinks she may have seen him.
We did see a person just walking from it. As we pulled up, we saw this this young man kind of walking from it, headed west, like towards Michigan Avenue, a little too calmly for something like this, and it felt kind of weird. And then as we were leaving, you kind of see him picking up speed running.
As police work to track down the suspect, the act invoking deep emotions across the city, people calling for the man to be charged with a hate crime.
As a history teacher, I am very familiar about the trauma, the violence, and the terror of a burning cross.
This was a tactic used, for probably my grandmother probably have seen something like this, great grandmother, and this is something that's been used in the South to harm and scare Black Americans. So it was very distasteful.
We received this statement from Cardinal Blaise Cupich today saying, seeing a burning cross in one of Chicago's most visited public parks was shocking, but sadly not surprising. We condemn in the strongest terms this action and affirm that hate has no place in our country, our city, and our hearts. We did reach out to Chicago police to ask them if they are investigating this as a hate crime. They say the information they have released thus far with the arson investigation and these photos is all they can tell us at this time. Live at Grant Park, Dana Rebick, WGN News.
All right, Dana, thanks.
All right, guys, you see it for yourself.
I think you're way out of line talking to me like that. And you're in no
See it
position
for
to
yourself.
challenge my expertise.
All right, so now, since we're not going to spend money, now they're getting ready to become the KKK. But I'm going to tell you what the KKK means in the United States for Asians who want to act racist and really try to racially act out and start burning crosses and things like that they know are signs of terrorism for us. KKK for you means you're going to get karate kicked back to Korea. Karate kicked back to Korea. That's your KKK. You're not getting ready to do what you're doing to Africans. You're not getting ready to do that. That's not going to happen in the United States. Forget about it. Nobody's letting you do that. It's going to really get to a position where things get really ugly. I just don't think that you guys want that. We don't want that. Shout out to XL Pro in the building. But this is what's going on in America, in Chicago, Texas, Carolina. What state is next? Who knows? Of course, you got the people that's going to sit up and blame it on Trump and not do nothing. They still going to vote to flood us with Asians. They still going to vote to flood us with Hispanics. They still going to vote to flood us with Africans. They're still going to vote to flood us with all of these immigrant groups that get here, and you're seeing right now, they turn on us. Where's all you Negroes that was hollering "Stop Asian Hate" 5 years ago? Where y'all at? That was tagging that. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna show you something. Let me find that. Let's see here. Let me find it. Check this young lady out. All right. I thought I had everything queued up, but obviously I didn't. So let's go.
AAPI hate. So let's get a few things straight. First of all, yes, there was a significant spike in anti-Asian violence and anti-Asian sentiment earlier this decade. But no, it was not primarily coming from Black people. And you can confirm this yourself by looking up the FBI crime statistics. And if you want to look more into it, it was also debunked by Asian Americans Advancing Justice, who found that the fear-mongering mailers, ad campaigns, and viral videos going around showing Asian Americans being attacked by Black people were coming from a Stephen Miller-led organization. And this was done by Republicans ahead of the 2022 midterm elections to gain Asian American votes by associating Black people with the Democratic Party and pretending that Republicans are the only ones who are going to care about Asian Americans and Asian American safety. Now, I say pretend because this is Stephen Miller, who is the current director of Homeland Security, who is working his hardest to restrict visas from Asian countries and to deport as many of us as he can. So keep in mind that when you repeat anti-Black Stop AAPI hate propaganda, you are not supporting Asian Americans and you are not promoting Asian American safety. You are only supporting this piece of shit Segway, who views the Hart-Celler Act, the Immigration Reform Act that allowed many of us to come to this country, as a tragedy. He has called it ruinous for social change in America because it removed the 1920s immigration restrictions that excluded us from the United States as necessary. Put simply, Stop AAPI hate was a psyop on us Asian Americans to get us to distance ourselves and to fear and to hate and to blame the very community that is the only reason why we have civil rights in the United States, and that is Black Americans. Now, a significant difference between Stop AAPI Hate and the deaths of people like Latasha Harlins and Cyrus Carmack Belton has to do with accountability leading to systemic change or the lack thereof. In the vast majority of those viral videos where you saw Black people attacking Asian Americans, the assailant was arrested and charged and convicted. They were held accountable, and a whole ass federal bill was signed into law for our safety. Whereas a lot of the grief and the outrage being experienced in the Black American community right now has not only to do with the dehumanization and the deaths of their people, including their children, but the lack of accountability. Rick Chow was allowed to walk free after killing 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. I see way too many Asian Americans in this moment trying to rehash the anti-Black.
Shout out to that sister right there, man. Shout out to you. See, that's what we need right there, man. We don't need ignorant people. We don't need people burning crosses and doing all of this. You know, it's basically a temper tantrum and lashing out. Just get right. Get your customer service skills together. Next time. This time you're getting ready to lose some business. So that's what's getting ready to happen. I think it's important that you check problems and you check them completely. And then maybe you guys can filter back in. 15% stand strong. I'm going to get ready to wrap the show up for tonight. I appreciate everybody for joining. I am going to leave you with this young lady because this lady was dropping real game, and this is a good way to end it. This is a good message to end it on. We will continue to hurry up and don't buy. Share the space. Share the video. Like the video. Subscribe to the Big Mike Drop channel. And rock the hashtag. Hashtag hurry up, don't buy. Hurry up, don't buy. And we'll try this for a while. I appreciate y'all for joining the show tonight. I'm not going to come back after this video. We will be rehashing this topic because it's a whole lot. It's a lot to take in, man. It's a lot to take in. But I think that things are changing for the better. Despite how it feels, it's very uncomfortable right now. But I think things are changing for the better. When I get more information on Carmelo Anthony and where he's located and his address, I would like for you guys to start sending him letters. So I will share that information. I'm looking for it right now, talking to a few people. But I would like you guys to start writing the brother letters. I know when you're isolated, he's been isolated through this whole case. I know when you're isolated that when people send letters to you, that feels a lot better, you know? It keeps your spirits lifted. And he has to keep his spirits up because he has a big fight ahead of him. He has a big fight against some big, evil, powerful people. But we got power too. Shout out to Bootsy. Shout out to Charleston White. Shout out to Cardi B. I heard Cardi B may be giving money. I would say this. Any money that you give for Carmelo Anthony's defense, do not give it to his family in lieu of certain rumors that have been circulating about what happened with the last money. But people work too hard for their money. Also, if they get the money, they could potentially lose that money in a civil suit. So it's best for them just not to have no money. Pay the lawyer, pay the legal fees, pay that. They can't extract any value out of that. Don't let these people win. And I'm going to tell you one more thing, too, before I go. That Chud the Builder guy. If Chud the Builder approached you in public with a weapon on him and was calling you racial slurs out of your name, that is assault. and you are a victim of assault. So Chud's sitting on about $1 million right now, and they keep sending him money. So why don't you start filing charges against Chud? Trust me, it's on video. He was using it as clout for video. Why don't you start tapping into that as victims? Because he's sitting on a nice bank right now, and he can't do nothing about it. He can't touch it. Why don't y'all go get that? Go get that. I appreciate y'all for joining the show this evening. We'll see y'all next week. Remember, hurry up, don't buy. Our boycott will continue to gain momentum, and we will get the achieved outcomes and results. Don't try no funny business either. We're going to leave off with this young lady right here. It's your boy Big Mike signing off. The Mike Drop. Been another episode of the Big Mike Drop. I appreciate y'all for joining. Everybody in the comments. Leave comments underneath the video when you watch the replay. We'll holler.
So there's a video going around of an Asian man who I think is a nail tech talking about some, oh, y'all can boycott. We don't need black people. We don't need y'all business. We have other businesses and we have college degrees. And we have businesses in white neighborhoods. We don't need y'all business. Now, mind you, we're like, okay, then get the fuck out. Right? Why are you fighting to stay with the people who don't want you if you don't actually need us? Close that motherfucker down, pack up shop, and head your asses across the red line. That's number fucking 1. Number fucking 2. I'm 37 years old, right? And I have been alive for all of the latest trends and things that black women were doing. I know for a fact, and there's not a single Asian person who can say I'm lying. I know for a fact that y'all haven't done shit but jack trends and innovation from black women. I know for a fucking fact. When black women started doing the chunky earrings, right? It was like, it was a hoop earring, y'all. Y'all may remember, it was a hoop earring with like the different beads and stuff on the bottom of them. Y'all seen black girls buying them from black women who were selling them out their trunks, okay, out their cars, out their houses, at their pop-up shops, and y'all shipped that idea straight to fucking China. And then y'all started selling them at a lower price. The girls were selling the hoop earrings for about $10. The bodycon suits. There were girls who were stitching and making them and selling them at the strip clubs. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The 2-piece bodycon suits. And y'all seen that shit, seen us walking around with them, and y'all shipped that idea straight to fucking China, had them make them, and bring them back over here. Okay? All of our fucking nail trends. Okay? Y'all would see it blow up that a black woman was doing them, because yes, we been had nail techs. We been had fucking nail techs. A black woman fucking did it and innovated that style, and y'all would hurry up and learn how to do it, and then y'all would be doing it in your shops for a lower price, because the black woman was charging more to do it, and it wasn't as accessible because there was only a few who knew how to do it. When it comes to the hair industry, I remember before y'all started making lace closures, manufacturing lace closures, there were black women who were making lace closures by hand. By hand. Before y'all started manufacturing 27 pieces, there were black women who would buy the full length hair, and they would cut them into the haircut. They would literally pull out the clippers and they would cut it into the haircut. Y'all shipped that idea off to fucking China, and that's where the motherfucking 27 pieces and shit came from. The curly wigs, there was girls who would make them by hand. They would by hand rod set, okay, the hair, and they would cut it off the track. They would rod set it, and then they would stitch the hair into those nets, into the wig cap nets, and then boom, that's a curly wig. And then y'all shipped that idea off to China, and y'all started manufacturing. Motherfuckers, y'all bitches ain't did shit but sit in our community and jack our creativity this whole fucking time. I want y'all to come say I'm lying. Call your mammy. Call your stank, rot, coochie ass mammy and bring her ass in here to say if I'm lying. Say I'm lying. Bring your long-faced, slap-faced ass uncle and pappy and bring them in here to say if I'm lying. Y'all ain't did shit but swagger jack us for decades. For decades. And y'all actually destroyed black businesses. The man wants to sit up here and say, oh, why y'all don't start y'all own businesses? Every single one of these ladies who were selling their stuff, out of their house, out of their salons. Y'all shut their fucking businesses down because you're manufacturing the shit with cheap fucking quality and machines. And that young lady was doing it by hand. Y'all some lazy motherfuckers, to be honest. And it's so crazy how every time we turn around, there's an immigrant group who says, oh, y'all won't survive without us. Trump didn't think so. He started deporting y'all fuck asses anyway. And the world still went on. Did it not? Did it not? Because I see people working at it. The city I'm in, they got so much motherfucking construction. Guess who I see out there? White men and black men. I still see a few Latinos out there. But there's a lot more white men and black men out there. What y'all have to understand is y'all ain't shit but a cog in the system. The world will go on. The world will go on. Okay? Don't overestimate your fucking value in this country. Okay? Just like with the railroads. The Chinese did not do all the railroads. Black men did the railroads in the South. Black men did the railroads. Black men did 75% of the fucking railroads. Y'all did 25% and want to keep running with that fucking narrative. Okay? Y'all keep on playing and y'all gonna have a whole bigger problem than y'all thought. It's gonna go past the boycott and it's gonna go to us lobbying for them to bring back that Chinese Exclusion Act since y'all forgot where the fuck y'all came from. Have a good day.